Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Sabrina. I am a student of English Education Department and now I'm going to retelling a story of the novel by Danielle. The title is Silent Honor. As you know guys, Danielle is one of the most famous writer in this world. She has a lot of books and a hundred of novels, but Silent Honor is one of her most popular books in this world. So I'm going to retelling the story of the novel. The title is Silent Honor. So before we are going to the story, I'm going to tell you about the detail of these books. These books, the title is Silent Honor, is written by Danielle and published at 1996 by Delacorte Press with 353 pages. This book is tell us about the story of young Japanese women named Hiroko who trying to survive in US or United States while the Pearl Harbor tragedy is happening. And the background of this story is World War II. So this story began with arranged marriage between Masao and Hidemi at the end of 20th century, while Masao is a modern and visionary person that opposite with Hidemi, which is conservative and obedient to the old cultural. Although they have opposing views, they still married because they fallen in love in their first sight. From this marriage, Hidemi gave birth of two children, Hiroko and Yeri. Their opposing views is continue until Hiroko is growing up and graduated from her high school. After Hiroko is graduated from her high school, her father Masao is asked Hiroko to go study abroad, to be exact at California, US to continue her study because he is a professor and a visionary person. Masao wanted his daughter to have a great future. Because of her obedience to her father, Hiroko is following the instruction of her father to go to US to continue her study. After go to US, Hiroko is told by her father to live with Tanaka's family. Tanaka's family is a family's cousin of Masao. There are Uncle Tak. Uncle Tak is a professor at Stanford University at that time, and he has a wife. His wife's name is Rieko, which is an American Japanese woman, and their three children named Kenji, or also called Ken, Sally, and also Tami. Uncle Tak is also have an assistant to help him at Stanford University named Peter. In the next part, I'm going to explain about the relation between Peter and Hiroko. There, Hiroko continued her study at St. Andrew College and she stayed at the dormitory. But unfortunately, racism is very high, so Hiroko is get bullied by all of her friends in the schools and in the dormitory. So Hiroko is sometimes sad and she often alone in her room. Until one day, Pearl Harbor tragedy at 7 December 1971 is happened and the war between America and Japan is declared. This war is impact of Hiroko's life there. Hiroko is more often get bullied by all of her friends in the school and the dormitory, so the teacher is asked Hiroko to study at home and she can come back to the schools after the situation is getting better. So after housing from her school, Hiroko is stay at Uncle Tak's homes, and there she helping her aunt to take care of her cousin and clean the house. And of course, as I said before, Hiroko is get more meeting with Peter. and here are both of them is falling in love. Due to the situation is getting worse in the midst of war, America and Japan, all of Japanese in the America, or to be exact at the California, is moved to the internment camp. There, all of Japanese people, including Hiroko and Uncle Tak's family, is isolated in a small place and guarded by a U.S. Army. There, no one else is allowed to come there, include white people or an American. But because the big love of Peter to Hiroko, Peter is go there and ask to the army, then tell that he has a business. He need to clear the business with Uncle Tax instead of he want to meet Hiroko. And at that place, Peter is allowed to come in and he proposed Hiroko's there. But because a lack of media communication and a bad situation that made Hiroko cannot send a letter to her parents in Japan, Hiroko is rejected the proposals of Peter because Hiroko won the marriage is attended, or at least the parents know about the marriage of Hiroko and Peter. But after several days, Hiroko is asked Peter to go to somewhere, and they met monks and they marriage with that monks. But no one knows about their marriage because they just both of them who knows about the marriage. However, after marriage, life Hiroko is full of tragic because after marriage, Hiroko must to separated by Peter because Hiroko must to go to internment camp while Peter is sent to be an army to attending the war in abroad. Hiroko's life is not easy because several months after marriage, she found that she pregnant Peter's child, but she need to be hidden her pregnancy because she knows that it so dangerous if anyone knows about her pregnancy because the relation about the American and Japanese is not allowed. So to make her child is safe, she need to hide her child until in that place she gave birth of the son. His name is Toyo. After gave birth of Toyo, and in that internment camp, Hiroko met with a Japanese doctor named Tadashi. Tadashi and Hiroko have a great relationship as a friend. But day after day, Tadashi is confessed to Hiroko that he has a feel to Hiroko, but Hiroko is still loyal to her husband that has a task in abroad. So Hiroko is rejected. Tadashi is confessed because she is still waiting for her husband to come back. After several times, there are a moment when Hiroko is heard the news about her brother who was dead because of shot when attending the war. And not long after that, she also heard about the cousin Ken or called KG is also dead because being an army in United States. And after that, Hiroko also hear about the death of his uncle Tak, which has died because of his illness. Hiroko and all of the family include Sally, Tommy, and Uncle Tak's wife, which is Auntie Rico, is feel very sad, and they are not have a spirit to continue the lives. But fortunately, they have Tadashi, who always help them and cheer them and to overcoming their sadness. And after that, Hiroko is noticed that Sally, her cousin, is falling in love with Tadashi. But after all of the journey, Tadashi is get the relationship with Sally. After 3 years that situation in America, when all of the situation is getting better, Hiroko is decided to go home to Japan and bring along Toyo, her son, to Japan to meet with their parents. But when she arrived in Japan, in front of their house, there is no one in her house, because when she look up her parents, there were no one, and she is asked to her neighbor, and sadly her neighbor said that Hiroko's parents is dead because of Hiroshima bombs, and Hiroko is feel very sad, and she decided to stay and live at that house. But after that, the neighbor is said to Hiroko that several days ago there are an army that come there looking for Hiroko, but the neighbor is didn't know who are he, so that army is left. And after several days stay in Japan, which is in her family's or her parents' house, Hiroko is go to the sanctuary of their parents, and there Hiroko is accepted a calling. She don't know where the calling is coming, but when she heard the voice, that voice is Peter. Yes, that is Peter, her husband. Yes, exactly. Peter is the army who arrived several days ago before Hiroko go there, and Peter is looking for Hiroko's address by her cousin Sally, and Sally is told about the Hiroko's number and Hiroko's address in Japan. Then Hiroko is explained all of the birth of Toyo, their children, which is hidden from US Army, and why Hiroko is not tells about Toyo due to the danger and they still in US. And Peter is totally understand to all of the situation, and Hiroko and Peter decided to stay at Hiroko's parents' house at Japan, and they get a happy family. Guys, that's all of my retelling story of Silent Honor by Danielle Steele. I think this book is very amazing, because the detail of the books, the plot, and all of the information that given by Danielle Steele is make me interested to keep read until this book is end. So I highly recommended this book to you all who like a story like this, and you must read another Danielle Steele's books also. And I think that's a lot of Danielle Steele's great works that you must read to open up your mind. So I think that's all for me. Thank you for watching this video and hear my story, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.